Thank you, Mr. President. House Bill 136 was the bill we passed last week that expanded our foster care tax credit. We included our Affordable Child Care Study Committee work we did with the tax credits for child care as well in this bill. It's a great bill. When the bill was on our side, there was a change to the existing law when it comes to the percentage of the funds that must be used on qualified expenses for our foster care support organizations. And what the House did is they changed it back to existing law to make the 90% go back to 80%. And that just leaves the law where it currently is, so it doesn't impact the work these child support organizations are currently doing in our state. That's the only change that we have with the amendment. Have you take any questions?
You do have one question, Senator. I recognize the senator from the 19th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Yield?
Yes, sir.
So the change means that less money has to actually go to kids?
No, that's not true. The change goes back to the existing law, Senator, and we know these organizations are doing great work in our communities now. We don't want to risk, as we expand these tax credits, we want to risk the work that's being done right now, and so this puts it where the current law is.
Will the senator further yield?
Yes.
So under the Senate's plan, how much of that $30 million would have to go to actual direct care?
It's what the current law is, so it goes back to the 80%.
How much would that be?
I don't
80%
know.
of 30?
Yeah, it's about 25
24
or
million?
so. Yeah.
Will the senator yield for a further question?
Sure.
So if it's $24 million under the Senate's version, how much has to go to, under the House's version, how much would have had to go to direct care under the Senate's version?
Well, the problem is the Senate version may not work because you may actually get it where these organizations can't operate. And that's the risk we have. And so you can't look at it from a math standpoint that way. If you think that we need to change the law on that, maybe best to have a separate bill that addresses that moving forward versus using the bill we have now. We're expanding our credit to potentially handcuff these organizations.
Would the senator further yield?
Yes, sir.
Is it not true that this is a bill?
This is a what?
Would directly affect that? The matter you told me to address in a separate bill?
I couldn't hear what you said.
Is it not true that the Senate's version would have $27 million going to direct care and the House's version would have $24 million going to direct foster care?
Not necessarily, because we don't know if these organizations can operate if you change this overhead number. But I do know the budget chair, and perhaps maybe he wants to put more money regardless into this. Maybe we can find a way to do that.
Will the senator further yield?
Sure.
Would you be willing to let that come off of railroad side carts?
What about railroad lines?
Yes. Is that where we should take it?
Maybe so. I think we should look at all maybe the projects in our state and look at different railroad lines, and potentially we could find some money somewhere and save some money and give it to these organizations. That's probably a good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you.